Hi, welcome back to another episode of Northern Hockey Shock Sports Talk. To my right, we have, as always, Aiden Weiss, Ryder Langthorne, and your host in the black chair, Brevin Gervais. So there's a couple of things that happened this weekend. The major Bantams were in Richmond for four games set, and then the minor midget were in Prince George playing 2 games in their league, dropping both to Kelowna.
Not only dropping both, but
getting absolutely killed.
Yeah, you know, it always sucks. You know what? 6-2. They had a 2-1 lead after the first. Actually,
at least they scored a goal in the 6-2 game. At least you give me we gave them their best shot.
Yeah, so 6-2 game. They actually had a 2-1 lead after the first period, but then Kelowna's power kind of overwhelmed them. And injuries, right? Injuries and suspensions. Cousins and McIsaac being suspended right now because they take their fighters.
Really? Oh, they're scrapping?
Yeah, in exhibition.
Oh.
Yeah, just dumb.
Just trying to make the team.
Yeah, I guess so.
Trying to find
when you're the captain, yeah, you know. But in the second game was a different story.
Yeah,
like
shots
in
were
minor hockey when I was playing, Kelowna always just kicked the shit out of us. It would never even be a game.
Do you know what the shots were?
Oh, I don't know.
67-6.
That's ridiculous.
It seems about right.
So only like eight goals on 67 shots.
Dude, imagine,
you know?
That's not bad.
6 shots in a game though. Like, imagine your team only
imagine how
six shots
boring
on
that
goal.
would be to be a goalie, and you're just like, you get 6 shots and probably like 4 of them are dumping. You just sit there, you're like, why?
No, so definitely shots on net are a thing they're gonna have to work on over the period of the season. Then the Bantams were in Richmond, and we beat the Thunderbirds, so that was good. Then we lost in overtime to the Silvertips, and then lost to Silvertips again. So, you know, close games.
That's
you know.
Nanaimo,
yeah. And then we played the Giants, and we scored 3 goals in the final period, but they scored 4 goals in the first. So 4 always beats 3, right? So
for the most part, yeah.
I think
unless you're playing low card.
So we won low card.
Yeah.
That game, but some good performances. Jakubowski, Aaron's little brother, former Cariboo Cougar, I think. Yeah.
I played with Aaron for like
so
3 years.
Jakubowski got a shutout, so that was good. And then Caleb Poitras, Ben Sullivan, and Josh Dale all scored 2 goals over the weekend. Poitras has 3, so some good talent.
That's nice.
Aaron,
a lot of scouts. The Spruce Kings now, Aiden. Want to tee them up?
Oh, well, the Spruce Kings actually had 3 Caribou Cougars playing for them, with Reeves, Harrington, and McGrath all coming out this weekend. So, I don't know. That's kind of neat for them.
They absolutely smoked Alberni Valley 8-1. It was 8-1 in the second period.
That's good.
With shots being 28-25. So McGrath.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
no. There's no way. Oh my god. Your Matthews think? Yeah, it's funny. I didn't realize that.
Okay, continuing on with the Spruce Kings. We're going to get into the Matthews thing in the YouTube video, so make sure you guys stick around, actually.
Yeah.
You're going to want to see that for sure. Can't miss.
But, so the Spruce Kings dogged the Bulldogs this weekend. So that's kind of neat. And, actually, Reeves didn't play against Alberni. He only played against
Trail, where they lost 3-0.
Yeah.
So should we blame him for that one?
Well, you could blame him for that one if you want, but I don't. It's
probably
not his fault.
No, he's a great defenseman.
Wow.
Moving on to the Prince George Cougars.
They suck.
Yeah.
So Cougars dropping both games to the Victoria Royals this weekend, one in a shootout. It just seems like they can't score more than 2 goals.
Yeah, that makes it tough to win a hockey game, that's for sure.
Yeah, so Cougars now have a record of 0-3-0-1.
I remember my first Cougars game I ever went to. This was like when I first moved to the city. Went with Josh Hawkinson. They went to a shootout. Awesome game to watch. They ended up losing though.
I remember at Cougars games, we used to play mini sticks, but we never had sticks.
I was there.
So we put our hands over top of the cap, and it was just a bottle cap, and you shoot it.
Yeah.
And like one time, me and Mateo fought, and he just gave me a swift uppercut, and my nose was just leaking for the rest of the game.
At the Cougars?
Yeah.
So if you want to watch the real hockey, go upstairs where the
Yeah.
little kids are playing, because that's where
That's where it happens.
the next generation of talent is.
Okay, so do you guys want to get into contracts here a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean, Connor signed I can't see that.
7-year deal with a 7.1 million average.
Yeah.
That's
Rantanen
pretty
signed
good
a 5-year, $55 million contract, and then Line signed a 2-year, $13.5 million contract.
deal. Averaging out to 6.8, which is still.
These guys are happy to be getting paid, They're
Yeah, they should be happy about
Yeah.
that. I thought Line was gonna hold out for even longer, to be completely honest. But
those your Europeans are pretty
Yeah, why would you though? Like,
uptight, yeah, for sure.
no point. You're still gonna get paid millions of dollars.
lots of V-Bucks.
Yeah. You buy a lot of good packs on Shell with that.
Yeah, for sure.
So probably the most interesting topic lately around the NHL, Matthew's shiny bum. I don't know if you guys have seen the video or not, but I haven't seen the video. I don't think it's been
No,
released.
so Austin Matthews in his hometown of Scottsdale, Arizona,
Yeah.
got absolutely, I'm guessing, plastered one night.
Yeah,
and,
like, there's no way he did all this sober.
and
I mean,
one thing led to another, and his pants were off, and a disorderly what is it?
Disorderly conduct?
Disorderly conduct was charged. So
Is that what it is?
yeah, he won't get to see now though.
No, you don't
I
think
don't
so?
think he was ever gonna be
No.
like,
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
good,
Warner is
but-
better than him.
he's good, but he's not shit. Okay.
This guy's a Canucks fan for all the fans watching.
Yeah, and I'm proud of it.
Not fan.
But probably even worse to hear than Matthews, Green Day is going to be colliding with the NHL this season.
Yeah, just announced an hour ago, Green Day partnered with the NHL, so
That's tough to hear.
turn down the volume on the commercials because we're not going to hear any of that.
Also, prediction for the Stanley Cup this year: San Jose Sharks, because they got Jumbo Joe at the helm.
Yeah, that's bold.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to
Bullshit.
it's tough to pick the best team because the playoffs are wild. But as we saw last year, but I think it's going to be the Dallas Stars. That's my prediction.
Vancouver Canucks.
Vancouver,
No,
not
no.
gonna,
This year.
they're not going to make the playoffs, and then Toronto's going to win 16 straight games.
Yeah,
in the
like
Cup.
this guy, man. I don't
just
know
a
where he
clean
gets
sleep
this,
in the playoffs.
Yeah, so we will be doing another hat giveaway. So make sure you guys check out the make sure you guys check out the YouTube video for information on how to win the hat.
Details will come on how doing it. And
Yeah, just check out the YouTube video.
Yeah, so that's all for our live. We'd like to thank Caribou Hockey and Original Joe's for the sponsorship, and we'll see you next week.
Up next, the Tyler Brough interview.
We have our guest Tyler Brough here on the show, and he played for the Cougars, and he's a local hockey product. So, and he was my coach before, so
That must have
here he
sucked.
is, Tyler Brough. So, can you just tell us a little about how you started playing hockey and
Sure. So I actually started in Grand Prairie, played my minor hockey there. Typical to what Prince George do is you're traveling up and down the highway. We were going to Edmonton to play all our games in Calgary and that kind of thing. But played minor hockey all the way through up till my first year midget, and then came to the Cougars as a 17-year-old. Played 3 years here with the organization. Then as a 20-year-old, got into the numbers problem. There was 8 of us, so they moved a couple guys. Was offered a trade. Didn't think it was in my best interest, so Fort McMurray came calling. They were hosting the Royal Bank Cup that year, which is the Junior A National Championship.
like the Oil Barons?
Yeah, Oil Barons. So you know what? I went home for a bit and thought about it for a few days, and didn't really want to pass up that opportunity.
Yeah.
A couple of guys that I grew up playing with were actually there that were, you know, in the same situation as me from the Western League. So I got to team up with a good buddy of mine that I grew up with, Jason Boyd, came from Medicine Hat, and you know, went there, and basically the rest is history. It was a great season, had a lot of fun doing it, and of course won our way to the national championship and then won it at home. So
exactly.
Pretty special.
Yeah, it's gotta be a good feeling. So growing up, did you have a lot of buddies that was there like a tight group of guys that kind of always were pushing each other to get to the next level, or?
Yeah, you know what, we did have a lot of my good friends to this day are guys that I played hockey with, and you know, from Pee Wee Bantam up to midget, and then right into senior hockey. A lot of guys went junior A route. A few of us went to the Dub, so it was pretty special. You know, in the off season when you have someone pushing you to do better in the gym, and you know, you kind of part and go your separate ways during the hockey season, but you're still checking in on each other. It's a lot easier nowadays with social media and cell phones. We didn't really have them back in the day, but you know, you're always calling and keeping tight with your buddies and kind of challenging each other a little bit along the way too.
So during the Cougar career, you're playing with some high caliber defensemen, Chara, Hamuse, Brewer. What's it like playing with guys like that?
Well, it was a bit odd. I'll start with Chara. He was obviously this man child when he came in. Right? He was 6'9", and he was, you know, just this beast, and couldn't speak a whole lot of English. You know, there was a lot of obstacles for him when he came in. But quickly learned the language, quickly learned the North American game, and I mean, for me, the thing that stood out for Z was, I mean, just the way he worked out, the way he put everything into what he wanted to do. You knew he wanted to be a professional hockey player, and doesn't surprise me to see him be a captain and a leader in the NHL. Because I mean, I remember we stuck around after one season, worked out a little bit together, and he was in around Prince George, and by the time he left Islanders camp, he was like 3% body fat, 245 pounds. So that's a machine, right? And then, you know, obviously, you know, Brough was there for 2 of my 3 years, and just a very smart, not only hockey player, but smart human being. He was, you know, very intellectual, did very well in school. I mean, we got along real well, still, you know, in contact today with the Cougars organization and doing different things with the alumni. You know, and then Hamuse, of course, he came in as the young guy. I was a bit older when he came in. You know, he was a special talent as well. He could back then he was big on his hip checks, right? He was just he wasn't that big. He was pretty thick but not tall, and he would get, you know, kind of low bridge those guys and dump some big forwards in the WHL. So he quickly made a name for himself, and then obviously, I mean, for him, he just took off. He was CHL Player of the Year, and I mean, it's again another guy that's made a huge career out of, you know, out of what he had. And you meet him, if you have a chance to meet him, he's the most humble guy you'll ever meet.
For sure,
you wouldn't know he's, you know, played a long time in the NHL, and you know, those 3 guys are some pretty big names, not only as Cougar alumni, but you know, NHL alumni. Played a lot of games between the 3 of them.
Sure.
So one rumor that I heard about Chara, this was a long time ago, when my buddy told me this, he said his dad would set up workout machines all throughout the house, and if he walked past it, he'd have to use it. Is that true? Do you know anything about that?
I don't know anything about that, but it wouldn't surprise me knowing, you know, stories of his dad. I know I think he was an Olympic boxer.
Oh, wow.
And his mom was an Olympic basketball player, I think. Something along the lines, like 2 very...
So he was an athlete.
Yeah, born into athleticism, right? I mean, and you could see by his work ethic that he was pushed. He knew what he wanted to accomplish in the game, and you know, I mean, a lot of guys challenged him when he was young. When he was 19, first in the NHL, I remember Scott Parker from Kelowna would challenge him 3 times a game, because back then you could fight 3 times before you got kicked out. And, I mean, they'd fight 3 times sometimes in games, and it was just, you know, one would win, then Char would win, then Parker would win. It was just back and forth.
Yeah, it's
pretty big guys.
So was it the teddy bear toss where Chara fought and they threw on? So what was that? What was that like? Were you on the bench or on the ice for that?
I was on the bench when the fight happened. But it was, you know, I think it was 0-0 in the second period.
Yeah.
So, you know, fans are antsy. They want to throw their teddy bears on. Nobody's scored yet. We haven't scored yet. And then I think it was him and Skurlak squared off. And teddy bears came on. It was actually almost better than the goal.
Yeah.
that's pretty epic and total Prince George style too.
Yeah,
right?
got everyone fired up probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was pretty intense.
Yeah. So you played with 3 pretty high caliber defensemen. Is there any forwards that really stuck out in your mind? Because I know you were a forward going through your WHL career.
Yeah, there's a big number of forwards too that have made it. I mean, Tyler Brough, obviously we came in at the same time. Him and I, we played against each other when we were kids. He was a Camrose kid, I was Grand Prairie, so he was a year younger than me. We got into it a little bit when we were younger playing together, so when we kind of became teammates, it was, at first kind of standoffish, but then it doesn't take too long to once you're teammates, to become buddies. And him and I are pretty similar actually, and we get along great, and we jab each other still. But for me it was him. Blair Betts, another guy that played a long time in the NHL and made a great career out of what he was offered, and had a lot of injuries going through. But him, Trent Hunter, another guy that played some NHL games. So it's a pretty rich history as far as the alumni goes with the Cougars, and I was pretty fortunate to play with a good number of guys that made careers out of not only NHL but pro hockey.
So I did a little bit of research, but obviously I didn't do too much. Did you guys make a crack at the playoffs at all while you were on the Cougars?
Yeah,
you guys won a good run, right?
Yeah, I was fortunate. I didn't miss the playoffs once in 3 years.
Oh, that's
so
wicked.
My first year, we made a run to the West Final. We rode hot goaltending. Chris Mason was on fire. Everyone just kind of stepped up. Blair Betts was a 16-year-old rookie, and I think he had like 20 points in the playoffs. We came together. We played Portland in the first round.
You guys were bottom seed, correct?
Yeah, we were 8th seed. They were like number 1 in the dub, but like number 3 in the CHL, like highly touted. And we upset them, and then just kind of kept rolling from there. And then we had some great series against Kamloops in my second year, and then third year we lost in the first round in Game 7, I believe, or Game 6. But yeah, I was really fortunate to play playoff games in all 3 years of my career with the Cougars, and get great support from the people here in Prince George. The building was sold out in almost every game I played in as a Cougar.
That is pretty cool.
Which is pretty insane. I mean, now it's changed quite a bit, but it is pretty special.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what to expect when I came to Prince George. They were relatively new in Prince George, and when I got here, I was like, wow, this is a great place to play. The support that we had and the town. We had a little bit of fun when we could, and people kind of supported us in both.
Not bad.
So we're gonna jump into your senior hockey career, because I know you played some senior hockey, and didn't you win the title with for St. John?
Yeah. So kind of when I was 21, I was actually supposed to go to Oilers camp. Had a banged up knee in Fort McMurray, so failed a physical to go there as a free agent. Was gonna go down and play, in the United Hockey League. I had an East Coast League tryout and this and that. But when it came down to it, I didn't. Last minute, kind of week before I was supposed to go, I decided not to go. I was, like I say, I was 21. I was kind of tired of hockey at the time, which happens, And then I got a call from a guy I played with that says, we got a senior team going here, and I actually started with the Grand Prairie local team, and it was just AA at the time. Moved here to get into trade school, and got a call from the Horse Lake Thunder, who were stocking up to go on make a AAA team, so went and played with them. And I mean, they had guys like Gino Ojek and Theron Fleury, and Mishko Antison, and these Lakovic brothers, like just an amazing talent for senior hockey. So I ended up playing a few years there, and traveling back and forth kind of thing. And then they folded one year, and Fort St. John had a good thing going with a bunch of guys that I grew up with playing, and kind of latched on with them. And I was still traveling up and down the highway to play senior hockey. And I never played a home game for senior hockey in my career. All my home games were on the road. But yeah, and then I was fortunate to win the Allen Cup with Fort St. John Flyers in 2010, which was pretty cool. I was 35 at the time or whatever it was, and a little bit late in your career, but you still got to prepare and try and play these games. And the guys are getting younger and younger, and you're not skating every day like you would in pro hockey.
Not as easy to keep up with the 20-year-olds.
It's not as easy, definitely not. And once you're getting older, you realize that, and like I say, you're showing up for games and you're trying to do some stuff in the gym and get some ice that you can during the week, but it's completely different. You know, I remember we played 5 games in 5 nights, and I mean, it almost killed me. Right? You're banging and
just takes
crashing
a
every day.
toll on your body.
Totally, yeah.
So more of a physical league than WHL then.
Yeah, I mean, they're both physical leagues.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of changed a little bit. The game has changed now. But yeah, I mean, you got, like I say, you got bigger boys in senior hockey, and you know they're not afraid to mix it up. And it was pretty interesting at times.
Are you still playing hockey? Like, are you in a local rank?
No, I go with the old timer Mohawks every once in a while, but I'm pretty busy with Caribou and running practices and this and that. And I got my kids of my own, right? So
still getting on the ice, right?
Yeah, it's kind of on the back burner is me playing right now. It's more about Caribou and the kids and that kind of thing.
Of course. So with that, let's jump into your coaching career. How did this like become anything? Like, did you ever want to be a coach? Did the opportunity just present itself and you took it, or what?
I think as a player, when you kind of get into different situations, you kind of figure out if you are interested in being a coach or if you think you can be a coach. And kind of later in my career, I kind of thought, yeah, I think I could do this as a, it's totally different standing behind the bench than it is on the bench and being part of it. And there's a transition period from that, but I was interested in getting the coach. I wanted to make sure I was completely done playing senior, and I didn't want to kind of dive into both. I'd helped out Caribou years past while I was still playing senior, and it was just kind of hard. I would just kind of show up for practices and do that thing. But first year, I jumped on with a Bantam Tier 2 team, right?
Was it our? Yeah, it was our team.
Yeah.
I still remember when he got mad at Brennan when he snuck into our room at like 1 in the morning. He just didn't even come in. He just said, "Brennan, get out." I was like, "Okay."
Well, and again, it was early in my coaching career. I'm still kind of making that transition from player to coach. I understand the boys, they want to have fun, right?
Yeah.
Probably meaning no harm at all, but I got to look at it as a coach now. So it's like, you got to make sure they're following rules.
Yeah.
To a certain point for sure.
Yeah, those 2 in a room are bad, so it's probably a good call on your part.
Well, Benny was I love Benny. He's a great kid. He was always down for a good time, and I appreciate that, right? But just got to keep him between the lines, and, as well as everyone else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being in a room with him and Benny, and we were playing mini sticks in the dark. That was a good time.
Oh, yeah.
That was real little, but
yeah, we were in like Pee Wee here too.
That was crazy.
Up to like 4 in the morning playing mini sticks in the dark.
Yeah, and then the next season I got offered to jump up to the Tier 1 team with Merced. Obviously jumped on as assistant with him. And then the following season, my 3rd season of coaching, Trevor approached me about jumping on with Caribou. I was super excited, looking forward to it. The organization has done so well.
Yeah.
I was eager to be a part of it, and then 2 years as an assistant. Got an opportunity to win a championship there as an assistant, and then kind of transitioned there where I figured I wanted to be the head coach. Approached Trevor and asked, I feel like I want to be the head coach of this team. You have every right to say no. He built the program from beginning and was the head coach at the time. Took some time to think about it, and it wasn't too long. We sat there at lunch, and he said, "Yeah, you know what? It's yours." I wanted to make sure I brought him on kept him on as GM.
Yeah.
Because he's great in that role, and he's done a lot for the program. But it's been good. Obviously, winning a championship as the head coach as opposed to the assistant just has a different feel.
Yeah.
Right? They're all great. It's always fun to win championships, but when you're kind of at the helm, it just means that much more.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I've been fortunate with Caribou to be in the finals all 4 years that I've coached. Looking to be back there this year and continue on to try and win our way to the Telus Cup.
So we want to talk a little bit about the new organization, how it's like a 6-team structure thing now.
Yeah, so I mean it's it's exciting for us. You know, it's always been a conversation between Trevor and I about, you know, what do we got to do to keep players in the north.
Yeah.
You know, from the bantam level right out of Pee Wee, they're kind of looking to go elsewhere to find better hockey.
Like,
we couldn't always provide them kind of the structure or the coaching that they get maybe down south, which was what they thought. I think with the coaching staffs we have in place now, from bantam up, you know, tier 2 bantam to tier 1 to all the way up to the midget programs, I think, you know, there's no excuse to leave.
no.
Yeah.
You know, it all filters into the major midget team, and we do whatever we can to move guys on to junior hockey. So, you know, I think it's a good thing. I'm excited to see where we can go with it. Definitely got some kinks to work out. It's the first year of it, but I think we're doing a great job so far.
Okay, last thing, we're gonna jump into the hot minute. So you have at least 3 seconds to answer the questions that I give you.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll start right now by, what's your favorite song?
Cool. I'd say High Horse, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
Okay. Good. That was almost over 3 seconds. But stayed under. What's your favorite hobby?
Golf.
Oh, that's a good one.
Your favorite hockey team in the NHL?
Unfortunately, I gotta say the Oilers.
This guy likes Oilers a lot.
I grew up in northern Alberta.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
In the 80s.
Yeah. You're a real Oilers fan.
What's your favorite food?
Ooh, lasagna.
Okay, and then last one, what's your favorite golf course?
I gotta say Tobiano.
I went there this summer.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Amazing, hey?
unreal course. Yeah.
It's like, it's a step above any other course.
Yeah.
Played terrible, but scenic.
I feel bad making a divot there.
Okay, well, that wraps up everything for this week's episode. And from all of us here at the Shack, stay squirrely, PG.